At the start of the drama, we see the female lead, named Jiang, who had come to the hospital for a checkup because she was feeling symptoms of chest cancer. Just then, the nurse calls her inside for the checkup. Regarding this, she also asks the nurse, "How will a male doctor do my checkup?" To which the nurse replies, "He is a doctor, and anyway, we don't have a female doctor, so just get your checkup done by him." She, while talking on the phone, removes her bra and directly hands it to the doctor. The real shock for Jiang comes when she calls the doctor by name, Dr. Ding Ran. He already looked like Ding Ran from the eyes, but after seeing his name on the card, it turned out that he was her high school crush. He says, "I told you to untie it, not take it off." Jiang is in shock. Oh god, where did he come from? In the flashback, it is shown that in high school, Jiang always wanted to become friends with Ding Ran, but he used to show so much attitude that he wouldn't even talk properly. Back in the present, Ding Ran is asking her to lift her shirt so he can examine her symptoms. Jiang gets so nervous that she just keeps doing exactly as he says, but in her heart she's thinking, "I wish I had never come for this checkup." After this, Ding Ran starts telling her the routine prescription, but she feels so embarrassed that she runs away without listening to anything. In her heart she's thinking, "God, please, I hope he didn't recognize me." Then, from behind, Ding Ran calls out to her saying, "Jiang, you forgot your bra here." She gets so embarrassed in front of all those people that she makes an excuse of being on the phone and runs away. In the next scene, she arrives at her apartment, where her key code wasn't working. So she comes downstairs and starts asking the receptionist for the reason. That's when she finds out that her mom had moved out earlier that morning. Then she talks to her mom on the phone, who says, "Do you remember? I told you about my first love. I met him again after so many years, so I don't want to lose him, and I've decided that I will marry him." Jiang feels a little strange hearing her mom's sudden decision, but she doesn't want to stop her mom. Before leaving, her mom had left a suitcase for her, which had the address of the new house written in it. While our Jiang was wishing, "God, please, whatever happens, just don't let me meet that guy again." In the next scene, mom introduces her fiancé, Mr. Deng, to Jiang, at whose house they were invited for dinner today. Mom says, "We have moved into the neighboring house because your uncle and I want to get married. That's why I want you and Ding Ran to live with us. Everything else is fine." But Jiang starts asking about Ding Ran. "Who is he?" Mr. Deng says, "He is my son, and now he will become your brother." Now Jiang starts praying in her heart that he isn't the same doctor. But Mr. Deng also tells her, "My son is a doctor, he must be coming here any moment. I've invited him for dinner." Then mom also says, "He was your high school classmate." And on top of that, she shows a picture of Ding Ran. Then Jiang tries to make an excuse of stomach pain and tries to run away from there. She didn't want to face Ding Ran under any circumstances. On the other side, Ding Ran was also coming in. As soon as the door opens, he sees Jiang running toward him. She was about to fall, so Ding Ran tries to catch her, but in the process, they collide in such a way that both fall down. When mom and dad arrive there, they both are seen lying on the floor. In the next scene, we see that since both had already clashed, what's the use of hiding from each other now? Mom and dad were immersed in their happiness. Very soon we'll get married. And Jiang, you'll get your brother. Ding Ran quickly says, "I don't want any sister. Anyway, she's older than me. I'll never call her sister." 10 years have passed, but their habit of clashing hasn't changed yet. Jiang also immediately starts arguing, "When did I ever want you to call me your sister? And how is it my fault if you came in front of me? We weren't just ordinary classmates. Do you remember what I said to you on the last day of graduation?" Ding Ran says, Yeah, tell me. What did you say?" But Jiang stops while saying something. Then a flashback is shown. On the last day of graduation, Jiang had proposed to Ding Ran while giving him a bouquet. "I want to include you in my life." Ding Ran rejected her and said, "I have no interest in boring things." In the present, Jiang is saying to her mom, "Mom, Ding Ran told me that he hates me the most." He says in shock, "What? You remember exactly I said that?" Just as both start arguing again, Mr. Deng comes in between and says, "Ding Ran, you used to bully her in school too? Did I raise you like this?" Ding Ran is feeling quite guilty. Jiang says, "It's okay, I hate him too, but let me tell you both one thing. Your relationship won't be ruined because of us." Saying this, she goes back to her apartment. Along with this, a high school scene is shown in flashback, where their group photo was about to be clicked. Jiang wanted to stand next to Ding Ran, but just then another girl came between them on her own. Jiang tried hard to push her away, but nothing worked. Fortunately, that girl got pushed and fell down. Jiang, grabbing the opportunity, came near Ding Ran. That girl was accusing Jiang, "You pushed me to take my spot." School moments were quite memorable. She asked herself, "I don't know why he hates me so much." Meanwhile, Ding Ran sees another picture of her, where Jiang is holding a bouquet and practicing to propose to someone. He is standing at a distance, watching her. She looks so cute to him that he immediately clicks her picture. meaning he doesn't hate Jong because he knew that she was going to propose not to anyone else, but to him only. The troubling thing was, how would they live as brother and sister in the future? The flashback is shown again. While clicking the group photo, Ding Ran also didn't like that girl coming between the two of them. Then, grabbing the opportunity, he pushed that girl so Jong could come to him, which the girl was blaming Jong for. In the next scene, Jong is shown thinking after getting fresh in the morning, maybe I fought too harshly with Ding Ran. What if this affects my mom's relationship? I have to talk to Ding Ran about this. Fight is one thing, but our parents shouldn't suffer because of it. On the other side, Mr. Dung had prepared breakfast, and he calls out to Ding Ran, come quickly and have breakfast. He was just about to come out for breakfast when he saw a shopping bag and sat down to look at it. Meanwhile, Jong had come outside their house thinking, how should I talk to him? Just then, Mr. Dung sees her and tells her to come inside, and he asks her, Jang, what should I bring for your breakfast? To which she says, No, I've already had breakfast. I just came here to meet Ding Ran. Meanwhile, Ding Ran was taking that bra out of the shopping bag and thinking, she uses such hard material. Of course it would hurt. As soon as Jiang enters his room, Ding Ran sees her and starts saying, never use this material again. Seeing the bra, Jiang started pulling it from his hand, but it got stuck in his button. This little tussle between them went on for a while when Mr. Dung came in with breakfast. Seeing them like this, he was shocked. Seeing him, Jiang also changes the topic and says, little brother, it's just a bra, you shouldn't steal such things. Mr. Dung was also taken outside and explained, boys have such strange hobbies, but it's okay, don't scold him. For Ding Ran, it had become very difficult to prove his innocence. On top of that, he even got heavily scolded by his dad. Jong used the opportunity to leave from there. In the next scene, Ding Ran is with his friend. As soon as he hears Jong's name, he starts thinking about her. When the two of them had met for the first time, Ding Ran had transferred into the school at that time. Jong welcomed him and said, my mom told me to take good care of you because you are the son of her best friend. To which Ding Ran says, I don't need anyone to take care of me, I can take care of myself. Still, Jong kept talking to him. You know, my mom has invited you for dinner tonight. You must come. I'll feel good. Before Ding Ran could refuse to go to dinner with her, Jong left with Lu Liu, who is her best friend. At school off time, Jong was standing there waiting for Ding Ran. Even after seeing her waiting for him, Ding Ran ignored her and walked away, meaning he didn't want to be friends with Jong at any cost. Next scene shows us the evening. Ding Ran was studying. Just then he noticed that Jong's room light was still off. Maybe she hasn't returned from school. To check, he came outside the house. Here, Jong's mom was asking Lu Liu about her. Lu Liu was telling, I don't know anything about her, because I came back from school quite early. Hearing this, Ding Ran also became tense and immediately ran out to search for Jiang. When he couldn't see her anywhere, he got even more worried. But just then, Jiang was coming with her broken bicycle. Jiang became very happy seeing him, but Ding Ran was looking at her angrily. He says, don't you even realize how worried your mom must be for you? Where were you for so long? Jiang says, my bicycle broke down. I searched a lot but couldn't find any shop. And on top of that, I also hurt my foot. Then Ding Ran told her to sit on the bicycle because she was hurt. Then he rode the cycle and brought her home. After reaching home, Jiang asked him to have dinner with her. He says, I've already had dinner. You go inside right away. Then, as soon as Jiang went into her room and turned on the light, Ding Ran felt relieved and started studying again. Meanwhile, in the present, his friend Chi Fei was asking him, your dad is going to marry her mom, so now will you live as her brother? He says, I don't want to talk about this. After that, Chi Fei went to the washroom, and Ding Ran opened WeChat and saw that his dad had added him to the family group. Reading the chat, he saw that dad had asked Jiang to come for dinner, which she refused. She said, I'm going to watch a movie with Jiang. When dad asked, who is Jiang? Then mom replied, he's my daughter's future boyfriend. Seeing this, Ding Ran got so angry that he immediately stormed out, as if he would take Jiang with him right away. In the next scene, Ding Ran is shown, who is supposedly reading a book, but in reality, he is very worried about Jiang because she hasn't returned home yet. At the same time, he checks the group messages. Mom was asking Jiang, when will you be back? Jiang says, I'm just about to reach the community gate. Ding Ran also came out of his room just to catch a glimpse of her. Just then, he overheard mom and dad talking about Jiang. What a nice and sensible boy he is. Hearing this, Ding Ran couldn't tolerate it anymore. Even his mom and dad had liked Jiang for Jiang. He immediately grabbed a shopping bag and left from there. On the other side, Jiang and Jiang were shown just saying bye-bye to each other. Ding Ran suddenly came forward and started asking Jiang, why did you take so long to come? Before Jiang could introduce Jiang, Ding Ran says, I came to return something of yours. When Jiang saw, it was that same bra which had been left in her room. Jiang, very embarrassed, says, are you crazy? What was the need to bring this? I would have come and taken it myself. But Ding Ran says, you were in a hurry in the morning, right? That's why you forgot it in your room, so I brought it for you. Jiang was trying to clarify to Jiang when Ding Ran, while leaving, said again, "You don't need to wash it, I already washed it for you." In this way, he succeeded in his plan and thoroughly enjoyed creating misunderstandings between Jiang and Zhang. Jiang then, in anger, follows him and says, "You didn't feel even a little bit ashamed bringing my private thing in front of another guy?" Dingran says, "Another guy? You're the one who liked that robot, who only knows how to fulfill formalities." Jiang, in anger, grabs his hand and starts taking him to Mr. Deng to complain. He says, "You've grown up so much and you still haven't stopped complaining?" But here, Mom and Dad were dancing together. Both of them became so embarrassed that they thought of running away from there immediately. But just as they were about to run, Mom called out and stopped them. Mom says, "We both want to talk to you two about something important regarding the wedding. So, you two will be the bridesmaid and best man." Then, Mom and Dad also mentioned the list of rules that everyone will have to follow after the wedding. But because of this, a fight started between Jiang and Dingran. Seeing them both fight, Dad says, "Why are you two pretending like it's not our wedding, but your wedding?" Dingran says, "Only a madman would marry her." Then he says, "I also have two conditions that you people will have to accept. First, I will never call her my sister. Second, if she becomes the bridesmaid, then I won't be the best man." Then he walks away from there. Jiang also says, "I also have no interest in becoming your sister or the bridesmaid. I'm not going to be a maid either." Seeing this bad relationship between the two, Mom and Dad became quite worried. They decided that until their relationship gets a little better, they themselves won't get married. In the next scene, Dingran was very tense with Jiang's reports. He says to the nurse, "As soon as the reports come, bring them to me immediately." Then when he comes home, he sees that his dad had invited Jiang for dinner. But what made him even angrier was that Dad introduced Jiang to him as Jiang's brother. Mom asks Jiang, "How did you find our daughter?" Jiang says, "Very nice hearing this," Dingran taunts, and then his dad starts scolding him. "Look at Jiang, what a nice boy he is. What a great personality he has. And then there's you, who just won't stop being rude." Jiang said, "Uncle, leave it. Don't scold him because of me or else he'll bully me later." Just then, Mr. Deng says to Dingran, "Don't you dare bully your sister again." Later, Dad asked Jiang to be the best man at their wedding, so that Jiang could also be the bridesmaid. Everyone else gets happy with this decision, but Dingran's mood turns off. In the next scene, even after dinner, Dingran starts washing all the dishes, while Mom and Dad were telling Jiang, "Come over to our house whenever you want, consider it your own home." Dingran doesn't like these things at all. On top of that, Jiang pushed Dingran aside and pulled out a tiffin box, which she had packed for Jiang. But when Mom told Jiang to go see off Jiang, Dingran got really angry. He didn't know what to do. On the other side, Jiang goes to see off Jiang and while leaving says, "Take care of yourself." After Jiang leaves, as soon as she turns around, Dingran is standing there. He says, "Your robot left? You're always stumbling and falling. Go get a proper checkup. What if you have a serious illness?" Jiang ignores him and starts to walk ahead. So Dingran says, "Have you really decided that you'll get into a relationship with that robot? Don't you think he does everything like it's just a formality? Like he has no feelings at all? So how did you think that he would make you happy?" Jiang says, "He got so happy just because I gave him a tiffin box. And you? You never missed a chance to hurt me. Mr. Dingran, since when did you start caring about my happiness?" After that, a flashback scene is shown. Jiang had bought a shirt for Dingran and had their names written on it. He was refusing to take it but later kept it. But when he rejected Jiang's proposal, he gave that shirt to another girl. This hurt Jiang a lot. That's why she doesn't even talk to him properly. While Dingran tries to explain, he grabs her shirt and as soon as he grabs it, the shirt tears. Jiang says, "Why do you always do such crazy things? This time, I won't spare you." She even took off her shoe to hit him. Dingran was running ahead to save his life, and Jiang was chasing him with the shoe in her hand. Just then, Mom and Dad also came out for a walk, and seeing them fight like that, they started thinking, God knows when these two will grow up. Next morning, Jiang was quickly gathering her documents because she was getting late for office. Then, a plan comes to Jiang's mind. She thinks, "I'm already late, why not take a little advantage of Dingran?" Then, deliberately in front of Mr. Ding, she says, "Oh God, I'm so late, and I don't even know how to drive. How will I reach on time?" Hearing this, Mr. Ding says to Dingran, "Go, drop your sister first, then come back and have breakfast." Even though he didn't want to, Dingran had to go with her. On the way, he asks Jiang, "You did all this on purpose, didn't you? So that I can't have breakfast?" Jiang says, "Yeah, so what are you going to do?" Dingran, irritated, says, "The bus stop is right there. I'll drop you there. Go on your own from there." At this, Jiang starts pretending to call Mr. Deng, so Dingran had to take her himself. In the next scene, Jiang's reports arrive. The nurse first brings them to Dr. Dingran. As soon as he sees the reports, he finds out that Jiang has a disease. Then he calls Jiang to the hospital, and while showing the reports, he says, "Some cancer cells have developed, but if we take action in time, it can be operated." Jiang is shocked to hear this, but Dingran tries to relax her and says, "It's still the initial stage. so we can easily overcome it. In the next scene, Jong is very worried about her surgery. On the other side, Ding-ran is also tense for her. Then Jong adds him on WeChat and messages, "My mom shouldn't find out about my surgery." Ding-ran calls her and reassures her, "It's not a major surgery. You don't need to stress. Don't overthink. Tomorrow you have to go to the hospital. Sleep well so you'll feel fresh." Next morning, Jong is packing her things to go to the hospital so that her mom won't see her. But her mom had also woken up early that morning, and as soon as she sees Jong packing, she asks, "You're going on a trip with Jang, right? That's great. Go, go. This will make your relationship stronger." Jong is about to clarify, but just then Ding-ran arrives and says, "I came to pick you up, and you're still not ready." Then he lies to Jong's mom and says, "Jong is going on a business trip with her colleague, so I'm going to see her off." Ding-ran had already talked to Jong's mom that Jong would go with him, but at the last moment, Jong arrives, who knew about Jong's surgery, so he had come to take her. But seeing this, Ding-ran gets very angry. When Jong herself wanted to go with him, what could he do? But Ding-ran feels very sad that the girl he loves is going with someone else, and he can't even stop her. Next scene shows the hospital, where Jong wanted to stay with Jong, but Jong was telling him to leave and sends him away. After this, we see a night scene, where Ding-ran enters the room and sees that Jong isn't there. Seeing this, he gets very worried about where she could have gone so late at night. Then, after searching, he finally finds her. Ding-ran asks her, "What are you doing here?" So Jong says, "I've never been hospitalized before. I don't know why, but I feel suffocated there." Then, he starts keeping her company for a while. Jong asks, "Aren't you worried about my surgery? About our relationship? I mean, we're about to become family members, right?" He says, "What's there to be worried about? And anyway, every part of the body is just a part of the skin to me. Look, I've held your hand. Are you feeling embarrassed now?" Jong pulls her hand away and says, "When Dad was about to have surgery, everyone was saying the same thing, that nothing will happen. Right? But what happened? He's no longer with us." Seeing her get emotional, Ding-ran writes both their names on her hand and says, "I've stamped it. I promise I won't let anything happen to you." Suddenly, seeing this nice behavior from him, Jong asks, "Why are you caring so much about me now?" Ding-ran says, "Because you're mine." It slipped out of his mouth. Then, to cover it up, he said, "I mean, you're my family member." Both of them felt very good seeing each other's name on their hands, like their old days had returned. Ding-ran brings Jiang some cute little necessities because he knew it was her first time being admitted to a hospital, so she would need those things. He puts a blindfold on Jiang and tells her to sleep, saying, "Tomorrow is surgery, so go to sleep on time." Next morning, Jiang was called to be taken to the surgical ward. Along with that, Ding-ran had brought her cute socks too, so that she wouldn't feel cold. Jong really liked those socks. Then Jong, holding her phone, says, "Can you play this song for me during the surgery time?" Ding-ran says, "What's the point? You'll be unconscious, you won't be able to hear it." Then we are shown the surgery scene, where Ding-ran asks the nurse to play that same song. As long as the surgery goes on, Jong starts dreaming about high school, in which she can only see Ding-ran. After the surgery is completed, Ding-ran tries to wake her up by calling out to her. As Jong wakes up, she says, "What? The surgery hasn't started yet?" So Ding-ran says, "Not only started, it's finished too. I told you, I won't let anything happen to you." Jong couldn't believe it. She starts touching her wound to check it, but Ding-ran stops her from touching it. In the next scene, Jong wonders why Ding-ran suddenly started caring so much about her. Is it just because she is his patient? She is still thinking this when she gets a video call from her mom. She didn't want her mom to find out that she was in the hospital. Just as she goes to find a better place, Ding-ran sees her. He buttons her up too so that her mom won't find out and says, "Come with me. I'll show you a nice place so your mom won't even get suspicious." Then he holds her hand and takes her to the terrace, where the view is very nice. After answering the call, her mom starts asking about her colleagues. Now Ding-ran also has to become her colleagues. He makes different voices, sometimes becomes a waiter, and sometimes a chef. After ending the call, both of them start laughing at themselves. Ding-ran says, "Back in school, I never even thought that we'd become family in the future." Jong, extending her hand, says, "Why don't we end our fights from today and become good friends? Anyway, we're about to become family members." Ding-ran liked the idea a lot too, but Jong teasingly says, "I have one condition. You're 3 months younger than me, so I'll call you little brother and you'll call me sister." This leads to laughter and teasing between them. Next day, Jong is having difficulty wearing her socks, so Ding-ran says, "Now that I'm going to become your family member, it's my duty to take care of you," and helps her wear the socks. Just then, Lu Liu enters, and seeing both of them together, she asks, "Did I come at the wrong time?" Ding-ran also says hello to her, and telling Jong to take care, he leaves from there. After he leaves, Lu Liu asks Jong, "Have you fallen in love with him again?" Jiang says, no, not at all. I'm just behaving nicely with him because we're about to become family members. Liu knew her very well. She says, what are you hiding from me now? You like peaches. Even if I ask you after 10 years, you'll still choose peaches. Then how can you say that you don't like Ding Ran anymore? But Jiang keeps denying her words no matter what. In the next scene, Ding Ran takes out his school-time sketches, and these weren't ordinary sketches, but his 10-year plan, which he wanted to spend with Jiang. He is about to show these plans to Jiang and propose to her, but doesn't know how to say it. Meanwhile, Jiang, who is practicing how to propose to someone, is seen by Ding Ran. He finds her so cute that he takes a picture of her. The next scene is at dinner, where Ding Ran's dad had cooked chicken for Jiang. But Ding Ran says to her, this dish is not good for your wounds. But now what could she even do? Then, just as she begins to eat, Ding Ran pulls it away from her hand. Dad ignores this and gives it to her to eat again, upon which he pulls it away once more and says, I don't want her to eat in our house. Jiang says, look, don't make me angry, or else it won't be good for you. And he says, yeah, even if you do get angry, what will you do? Through gestures, he is indirectly telling her to leave for her own safety, upon which she also stands up and says, yeah, I also don't want to eat in your house. Mr. Ding Ran, now just wait and watch what I do to you. Ding Ran also winks at her and says, we'll see about that later. After this, we are shown the next morning scene where Jiang has come to her shop. He says, I want to start an official relationship with you. Jiang doesn't know what to do. Liu also understands her condition. She walks over to her and says softly, you can refuse him yourself, or should I do it for you? To which Jiang tells her to go outside. On the other side, Ding Ran is shown, who is still thinking that if this Jiang hadn't come between us, we would still be together. Mom and Dad are both busy in their happiness, writing names on their wedding invitation card. Mom says, why don't we also get our children married at the same time? To which Dad says, how is that possible? They haven't even started a relationship yet. Mom says, Jiang is about to confess to Jiang. Hearing this, Ding Ran immediately runs out of the house. He calls Liu and asks about Jiang, where is she right now? To which Liu gives him her address. While running, when he reaches near her, he sees that Jiang and Jiang are hugging each other. This makes Ding Ran believe that Jiang has said yes to the marriage. After this, he sits at home thinking that maybe Jiang coming back into my life was a false hope. From the next morning, he starts ignoring her, just like he used to do in school. Jiang asks him, can you drop me to the office? So he says, I'm getting late, take a taxi. Jiang can't understand why he is behaving like this. In the next scene, Ding Ran is shown coming back from the hospital and being in his room. Jiang, seeing him, tries to talk to him, but he says, I'm really tired, we'll talk later. Still, Jiang says to him, just give me 2 minutes, I need to talk to you. And it's good that right now my mom and your dad are not here. She had come to talk about her wound that had left a big scar. So tell me how I can remove it. Ding Ran immediately moves toward her and closes the door, because mom and dad had come inside and he didn't want them to find out anything. In this way, both of them come very close to each other. For a while, they have eye contact, and after mom and dad leave, Ding Ran says, you can remove it through this treatment. In the conversation, Jiang again calls him brother, upon which he says, I'm not your brother, and don't call me brother. Now Jiang says, what do you actually want? Until yesterday, you were taking so much care of me, and today you're behaving like you don't even know me. If we're not brother and sister, then what is our relationship? To which Ding Ran says, our relationship is only that of a doctor and patient. I take care of every patient the same way I took care of you. Jiang feels very bad after hearing what he said. She says, it was my mistake to hope for improving my relationship with you. Saying this, she starts to leave, and Ding Ran, following her, says, what hopes? Weren't you the one who didn't even consider me equal to your shoes earlier? A flashback scene is shown in which a girl wants to propose to Ding Ran, and she is telling this to Jiang. To which Jiang says, go, propose to whoever you want. I don't care about your confusion. Ding Ran had also heard these things, which made him feel really bad. Then it's shown that when Jiang goes to Ding Ran to confess her feelings, Ding Ran misunderstands and thinks maybe she wants to get into a relationship with someone else and has come only to take advice from him. That's why he says, I have no interest in your boring life. Here in the present, Ding Ran is about to ask her about the last day of graduation, but Jiang says, don't you dare mention that day. After this, she goes to her room and starts crying, saying, Ding Ran hasn't changed at all, he's still the same grumpy guy. I don't know what I was thinking when I became friends with him. In the next scene, Mr. Deng makes breakfast and says to Jiang, eat properly, don't turn yourself into a messy boy who doesn't take care of his routine. Jiang asks, is he still not awake? To which Mr. Deng says, he left early in the morning. I don't know what will happen to this boy. Anyway, he had told me to give you something before leaving. When Jiang sees it's a scar removal cream, she feels really good that Ding Ran does care for her, but she doesn't understand why he behaves like that sometimes. After this, when she comes home, Mom was talking to someone on a call. She says, Mom, stop talking to Jiang on the phone. I don't like it because I rejected him. Just then, she gets a call from her boss, who is yelling at her, you've taken way too many leaves. If you don't come to the office, then who will do your work? These leaves, which Jong had taken for surgery, she didn't want her mom to find out about. So she goes into her room to talk. When she realizes the boss isn't even listening, she angrily says, "I resigned from the job." Actually, she didn't want to resign, but her mom felt very happy hearing about her resignation. In the next scene, Ding Ran is shown going to his old house. On the other side, mom gives Jung an idea. Now that the job is gone anyway, why don't you go to your old house for a bit of refreshment? You'll feel better. Following mom's idea, Jung packs her stuff and leaves the house. Then she reaches there. When she goes to the washroom to brush her teeth, she sees the brush there is not hers. So she goes outside to buy a new one. As soon as she leaves, Ding Ran arrives. First, he is surprised to see the lights on. Then he brushes his teeth and happily goes to sleep in his room. The room's light had gone out, but no worries. He can sleep without the light too. Meanwhile, Jong is shown coming back with a new brush, and after brushing, she also goes and sleeps in the room. This light issue created a lot of confusion because she lays on the bed without seeing. The night passes peacefully for both, but in the morning, both of their alarms start ringing at the same time. After turning off the alarms, when they both turn and look, for a moment neither can believe it, and then they both scream together, "How did you come here?" Ding Ran keeps firing questions. "You weren't here at night. Then how suddenly?" She is covering herself. So Ding Ran says, "You're already dressed up, then why are you hiding?" She says, "I am dressed up, but I haven't worn a bra, so it's not right for you to look at me. Please, go out right now." In the next scene, mom is shown saying to Mr. Deng, "Just wait and watch. When both of them return, everything will be fine. There won't be any fights like before, and I'm completely sure that our family will be a happy family." Despite this, Dad is feeling some negative vibes for some reason. He says, "It feels like something bad is about to happen." Right after he says this, Jong's call comes. She is yelling at mom in anger. "Why didn't you tell me earlier that Ding Ran is also staying at our house?" Ding Ran is also calling his dad and asking the same question. Dad says, "How could I tell you? Before leaving, did you give me a chance to ask where you were going?" Dad warns him, "Don't you dare try to disturb your sister. Talk to her calmly and keep your mood steady." Meanwhile, mom also explains to Jang, "What had to happen has already happened. Now, behave nicely with each other." After this, Ding Ran starts behaving quite differently. He calls Jiang for breakfast. When Jiang asks, "How did you come here?" he explains, "Your mom gave me the key. But when did you arrive? I didn't even realize." Jiang asks, "Why are you behaving so differently today? Did something happen?" So Ding Ran says, "Nothing at all. Now that mom and dad aren't around us, we don't need to fight either." She says, "No, that's not it. I'm talking about that fight you had last night." Ding Ran says, "That fight was because of some other reason." Then, changing the topic, he says, "I've come here to practice something, so I have to go. We'll meet in the evening." Just then, Lulu makes her entry. She is quite angry and says, "Oh God, why is it so difficult to walk in this village area?" As soon as she sees Ding Ran, who is looking really handsome, she goes back to put on her sandals and tries to act like a cute girl. Ding Ran is thinking, "What's wrong with this girl?" After that, Ding Ran drops Lulu home and says, "Take care of yourself," and then heads to the hospital for a medical checkup. After he leaves, Lulu asks Jung, "Why are you both staying in the same house? Are you two getting back into a relationship or what?" On the other side, Ding Ran looks really happy. The reason is shown in a flashback. Mom had told him that Jang had rejected Jang's proposal and also lost her job. Mom had told Ding Ran, "To improve her mood, I sent her to the old house. Please don't fight with her and take care of her." That's why he is behaving nicely. In the next scene, we see Ding Ran's friend Chi Fei has also arrived there. Jong had brought him home with her because they both recognized each other. Chi Fei says, "I wouldn't recognize you like that. After all, my friend carries your photo in his wallet 24/7. This feels a little strange to Jang too. On the other side, Ding Ran makes his entry, unaware that the house had become so crowded. After this, a proper argument breaks out between Chi Fei and Lulu. Chi Fei is saying, "You have to believe in my love, and being in a relationship is not a bad thing, right?" While Lulu is trying to explain how hard it is to be in love. If you don't believe me, then ask Jong herself. She also fell in love with Ding Ran. The fight was happening between the two of them, but both of them got caught in it for no reason. Chi Fei is also giving an example of Ding Ran. He still hasn't forgotten his first love, so how could you say so easily that love is hard? When things started to get out of hand, Jiang said, "Please, don't drag us into your fight," because the things they had been hiding from each other had all been revealed. In the next scene, we see a flashback. During high school, Ding Ran is looking for Jiang here and there. Here, Jiang is shown with a classmate who had found out that Jiang was about to propose to Ding Ran. Out of jealousy, the girl says, "You're no match for him. You're neither good in studies nor are you good looking. Even if you propose to him, he'll reject you. Clearly, he and I are the brightest students in class, so our match will be perfect." To this, Jang says, "I decide whom to propose to. and you can't decide that for me. And to make you jealous, I will propose to Kdrama. Otherwise, my name won't even be Jong. Kdrama is also standing there, listening to their conversation, as he was about to tell them his real feelings. But after hearing their conversation, he felt like Jong didn't like him and was just proposing to make the other girl jealous. He had also worn the shirt Jong had gifted him, the one with their names written on it. But now, it seemed like everything wasn't the same as before. Meanwhile, the present scene shows Lulu saying to Kdrama, "You even gave that shirt to that girl. Now, if Jong doesn't get angry at you, what will she do?" Kdrama says, "No, I didn't give that shirt on purpose. I was just passing by and I found out that the girl had fallen into the water. I didn't even offer her my shirt, but she forcibly took it from me. She said, 'I'm so cold, I'll return your shirt later.' Well, her only goal was to make Jong jealous. She even gave me the shirt back." Here, Lulu asks Kdrama, "Do you still like Jong?" To which he says, "Yes, but I thought all along that she was in a relationship with Jang." Lulu, irritated, says, "You fool! When are you going to tell her your feelings? When someone else marries her and takes her away?" Then, Kdrama remembers his first mistake when he rejected Jung without knowing that she truly loved him. Just then, we see Kdrama packing all his things. Maybe he was leaving. At that moment, Jong comes upstairs and says, "You didn't take Lulu's words to heart, did you? Look, she's a bit foolish. Don't pay attention to what she said. She said all that in anger." Kdrama says, "You wanted me to leave, right? Well, now I'm leaving, but not from this house, just from your room." Then Kdrama hands his things to Chifei to keep in the room. He grabs Jong's hand and takes her outside. He says, "I need to talk to you about something important." Then he takes her to a place and says, "I'll clear 3 things for you. First, I'm not leaving today, and I'm not leaving tomorrow either. And the third thing, your mom told me to behave well with you, so I have to do that. By the way, didn't you get into a relationship with Jong?" Jong says, "Yes, I don't think he's my type. I already told him that we can only be friends. We can't be in a relationship." He understood my point, and in the end, we both shared a friendly hug. And that was the scene that caused Kdrama's misunderstanding. Jang says, "I've told you everything. If you want to stay here, then stay, otherwise you can go back." Saying all this, the burden in her heart also became lighter. The dinner scene is shown, where Kdrama and Jeong prepare dinner together. In the next scene, Jeong is thinking, "Why is Kdrama being so nice again? What does he want from me?" The next morning, Jeong says, "Good morning," to Kdrama. Kdrama is drying clothes downstairs. When she notices that her clothes are also there, Jeong suddenly starts shouting, "Put this down! How did you touch my clothes?" Kdrama says, "What's the big deal? If the clothes are washed, they have to be dried too, right?" Jang says, "You have no need to touch such private things of mine. I can do my work myself." Then Kdrama also understood that she was feeling embarrassed. That's why he says, "Every girl wears underwear. What's so embarrassing about it?" Jeong says, "Even if you've become a surgeon, keep your doctor skills limited to the hospital." Saying this, she started to go inside. Kdrama says, "This evening there's my exchange activity at the hospital. I'll get late, but after that, we'll go for a walk." Then Lulu asks Jiang to come along to the reunion party, where all her high school friends were going to be. Actually, Jiang had no interest in attending this boring party, but as soon as she found out that Shushin would also be there, who always used to bully her in school, she agrees to go. She thinks, now I'll have to see what great achievement she's made in life. Then both of them do their makeup nicely. Jiang had never done makeup before, but today, she was confident. "Just keep watching what I do." After a while, both come out looking like Miss Universe. Chifei is stunned seeing them. In the evening, Chifei was going to cook dinner for everyone, but while leaving, Jiang says, "You eat my share too because we won't be able to come back for dinner." At the party, it turns out that everyone has come with their partners and kids. Only Jiang and Lulu are the ones still single. For a while, both of them felt they came to the wrong place, but then they thought, now that we're here, let's go together. Anyway, we worked so hard getting ready. There was still no sign of Shushan. Maybe she hadn't come yet or was late. On one side, Jiang was feeling really cold, but she also had to maintain her supermodel attitude. Then, on a classmate's challenge, she starts drinking and just keeps drinking. At that moment, another classmate started talking about Ding Ran. Heard he became a surgeon? Did he become one just to see girls' body parts? Hearing this, Jiang lost her mind. She says, "You still haven't changed your negative mindset? Full time, you just keep blaming others falsely. How dare you say that?" This time, no one was stopping Jiang. And why would she stop? After hearing such dirty things about Ding Ran, her anger increased even more. The entire scene continued, and someone recorded the video and sent it to Ding Ran. As soon as he saw the video, Ding Ran stood up immediately, left his dinner, and started running from there. He thought, Jiang can't handle alcohol, she'll definitely do something crazy. After reaching there, Ding Ran was looking for the two of them, but couldn't find them anywhere. At last he saw Jiang in a room, who was holding a guy and saying, "How dare you talk about Ding Ran? Come with me and apologize to him right now." At that moment, Ding Ran enters the room to take her. Jiang looks at him and starts asking, "Why did you come here?" To which he replies, "I came to take you." Jong says, "You know, even today these people haven't forgotten that I confessed to you in public, and you rejected me in front of everyone." Dingran says, "Now I'm with you. Come back home with me." Lulu says she has drunk a lot, and it was evident from her condition. Then Jong sits in the car doing quite strange things, and Dingran finds her extremely cute because after so long he saw Jong speaking her heart out. In the next scene, we are shown Jong saying, "I have something for you. It's a firefly." Seeing this firefly, Dingran remembers his school days when one night he was going back from school alone, and Jang also follows behind him and says, "I won't let you go alone because it's not good to go alone at night." Dingran says, "I'm a boy, so I can go alone." But just then, he sees that Jang has suddenly disappeared from behind. Her sudden disappearance made him very worried because he used to care about her. Then Jang appears in front of him and says, "I have something for you and you'll be happy to see it." That too was a firefly, which she placed in Dingran's hand. Seeing it, he did become happy, but later he scolded her. "Why do you act so childish? Don't you understand how scared I got when you suddenly disappeared like that?" Here in the present, we are shown Dingran started becoming more attracted to her. Then he is about to kiss her when Jiang sees many fireflies and goes outside the car to play with them. Dingran also goes after her. Seeing her enjoying like that, he thinks in his heart, Jiang still hasn't changed. She's exactly the same as she used to be in school. Earlier, Dingran used to think that maybe she had changed, but today he realized that it wasn't like that at all. Then, to protect her from the cold, Dingran puts his jacket on her. While talking, Jiang says, "I like stars, and you're also like a star to me, so I like you too." After saying this, she kisses Dingran. Then Dingran brings Jiang to her room. After coming home, he puts on his shirt and starts to leave. Just then, Jiang says, "Mom, I want water." So Dingran goes to get water for her. After this, when he comes to Jiang with a glass of water, she is trying to wear a shirt, but she isn't able to wear it properly. Dingran helps her wear the shirt properly. Jiang starts calling him Mom because she felt like maybe her mom was with her. Hearing this, Dingran starts laughing. But if Jiang was happy calling him Mom, then Dingran didn't mind either. He puts her to sleep and says, "Don't say anything at all, just sleep." After a while, Jiang falls asleep. In the present, it's shown that Dingran's eyes fall on 2 books on which his name is written. Seeing this, he remembers the moment when Jiang had taken out these 2 books from the library and showed them to him. "Look, I found 2 books in which your name is written." She still kept those books safely with her even today. Dingran realizes how much Jiang loves him. He feels ashamed of himself and thinks in his heart, "Because of me, you had to suffer for so many years. Forgive me for taking so long to express my feelings to you. I promise that I'll never hurt you again." The next morning scene is shown. Jiang comes to brush, but she doesn't understand why she's wearing that shirt. And what happened last night? Dingran is calling everyone for breakfast. "Come quickly, or the breakfast will get cold." During breakfast, Jiang asks Lulu, "How did I come back home last night?" She gestures and says, "Not me, but Dingran brought you back." Hearing this, Jiang starts getting tense, thinking if she did something wrong? Because of this tension, she couldn't even eat her breakfast and started to leave. But before that, Dingran stands up and says to her, "Come outside with me." Then both of them go for a walk. After that, it is shown that Lulu proposed to Chi Fei, and they officially agree to date. In the next scene, it is shown that Dingran brings Jiang to his high school under the pretext of a walk so that they can relive old memories. Jiang feels very good coming here. They are talking when Jiang sees her auntie. As soon as she sees her, she immediately starts hiding. Dingran asks the reason for hiding like this. So she says, "Auntie introduced Jiang to me, and I don't want her to ask me anything about him." Auntie had already recognized her. She was coming straight toward her. Dingran was also following Jiang, and just then we see Jiang twists her foot. She was about to fall into the swimming pool, but Dingran caught her hand and saved her from falling. And here Dingran started kissing her like he got a free chance. Jiang didn't even understand what was happening to her. On top of that, hearing Auntie's voice, she pushed him away to get him off her, and he fell straight into the swimming pool. After this, Auntie asks Jiang, "Are you two in a relationship? What's the need to hide this from me? I'm your auntie, not an outsider. And anyway, this boy is much better than Jiang." Jiang tries to clarify to Auntie, but Dingran doesn't let that happen. Holding her hand, he says, "We just got into a relationship, right?" So Jiang gets a little confused. Then Auntie leaves from there. After that, Jiang frees her hand from Dingran and starts yelling at him. If Auntie tells Mom, then because of your joke, a big misunderstanding will happen. In the next scene, Dingran knocks on Jiang's room door. As soon as Jiang opens the door, Dingran comes straight in and says, "I want to talk to you about the swimming pool." He even closes the door. Jiang was confused about what to talk about regarding the swimming pool. She says, "Look, you go outside." "I don't remember anything about the swimming pool." Dingran says, "If you don't remember, then let me help you remember." Saying this, he kisses Jong. But just then, we see that this was only Jong's dream. Outside, Ding Ran is knocking on the door. He says, "I want to talk to you. Can I come in?" Jong says, "Absolutely not. I don't want to talk to you." Then, in a hurry to close the door, she even leaves her shoe outside. Then she comes back, picks up her shoe, and closes the door. Ding Ran is surprised. What suddenly happened to this girl? Jong thought that Ding Ran kissed her first, but the actual truth was that she herself, being drunk, kissed Ding Ran first, but she didn't even remember that. After this, the next morning scene is shown. Jong is trying to ignore Ding Ran, but he keeps coming in front of her every time. She starts saying, "There's a washroom upstairs too, right? Why did you come downstairs? Do you even know how much you're bothering me? Because of you, I'm not able to do anything." She was saying all this in one breath when suddenly Ding Ran says to her, "I love you," and tells her, "Not from today, but I've always only loved you." Jong gets completely shocked hearing this. She says, "No one said anything, nor did I hear anything. This is all just a dream." Saying this, she goes into her room. Next morning, Jiang had decided that she won't stay here even for a minute more. She packed her things and came downstairs. When Lu Liu asks, she says, "I'm going back right now. If you also want to come with me, then pack your stuff immediately." Lu Liu says, "Our high school teacher is in the hospital. She wants to meet you, so we should go meet her." Then a back scene is shown. Before going to school, Ding Ran always used to stand there waiting for Jiang. Jiang thought maybe it was just a coincidence. And one day Ding Ran even made an excuse that his bicycle was broken, just so that he could ride to school with Jiang on her cycle. Jiang becomes very happy because of this. In the next scene, it is shown that after meeting the teacher, the three of them were talking about her. She's become so old, right? She doesn't even have a son to take care of her. So they decide that they'll stay here with her for a few days so they can take care of her and she can recover quickly. While this discussion is going on, Ding Ran decides that he'll spend some time with Jiang. He is about to tell this to Lu Liu when Shushan comes from behind. She ignores both of them and starts talking only to Ding Ran. She says, "I missed you so much. I just came back from Paris yesterday." Hearing this, both Lu Liu and Jiang get very angry. She's still not leaving Ding Ran alone. Shushan is asking Ding Ran to sit somewhere and talk. Over there, Lu Liu says, "Jiang, do you know, they were saying on TV that it's going to rain here in a few hours." Jiang says, "Good that the rain hasn't started yet. I'll quickly take advantage of this moment and go home. You also come back soon." Seeing her leave, Ding Ran says to Shushan, "Forgive me. I won't be able to spend time with you. Actually, I have a full-time duty. I have to go." In the next scene, Jiang and Ding Ran had not yet reached home, while heavy rain had already started. Leaving Shushan there, Ding Ran goes to Jiang. Now, even in Jiang's heart, the old feelings for him start to awaken. And anyway, he was taking such good care of her. What Jiang had always expected zero from Ding Ran, now all that was happening. The return of old love was natural. Ding Ran asked her to sit and have tea with him. Jiang also sits with him. While talking, Ding Ran reveals that if that day a misunderstanding hadn't been created because of Shushan, he would have already confessed his feelings to her. Jiang gets completely shocked hearing this because she had no idea that Ding Ran liked her from the heart. Ding Ran says, "When we used to meet every day on the way to school, which you thought was just a coincidence, it wasn't a coincidence. I used to stand there waiting for you. My bicycle never actually broke. I just used to make excuses so I could take you to school on your cycle." Jiang sat quietly listening to him, because today many things were going to come out that she didn't know before. Then Ding Ran holds her hand and asks, "Don't I have any chance left? Has it really become too late?" Jiang doesn't give any answer to this question and walks away from there. In the next scene, Jiang says to Lu Liu, "How did Jiang get into a misunderstanding just because of my words? Did he never see my love? The things he told me today, I'm not saying they're lies, but I'm angry that he didn't trust me back then. Today, all of a sudden, he loves me so much? I mean, isn't it like he never loved me, and now he's just feeling pity for me?" Lu Liu tries to explain to her, "Ding Ran is different from all of us. I agree he didn't tell you his feelings on time, but maybe what you're thinking, it's not like that at all." But Jiang had decided that now she would forget Ding Ran and focus only on her career. She said, "What Ding Ran does or doesn't do in his future, I have nothing to do with that, because our paths have now separated." So she starts to leave from there. In the next scene, it is shown that Mr. Deng receives a message from someone, upon which he smiles. And there, Mom, worried, asks Dad, "The kids haven't come back yet. Do you know when they'll be back?" "No one is even answering my call." Dad replies, "I haven't contacted anyone, and I don't even know when the two of them are coming back." When Mom, saying, "I'll just cut some fruits for myself," starts to go to her house, Mr. Deng firmly stops her. He says, "You sit here, I'll cut the fruits for you." Now, when he insists so much, Mom also starts getting suspicious. Mom says, "Tell me the truth, are you hiding something from me? Otherwise, why aren't you letting me go home?" To surprise Mom, Jiang hugs her. And this was the surprise that Mr. Deng had also been hiding from her. At this, Mom says, "You both really scared me. At least you could have told me. I was so worried." After this, the dinner scene is shown where mom asks, "How was your time there with Ding Ran?" Jiang says, "When did he even get the chance to spend time with me? He'd leave for the hospital early in the morning and come back late at night." In the next scene, Ding Ran is shown, who returns from the hospital. He saw that no one was there, so he gets quite shocked. In the next scene, Jiang is remembering what Ding Ran had asked, "Don't I have any chance left? Has it really become too late?" Just then, Ding Ran's message comes, "I'll be back in 2 days." Jiang had already lost her job, but now she wanted to focus on her shop and make it successful. Both got busy with work, and Jiang fell asleep while sitting there. When she wakes up late at night, Ding Ran had brought food for her. Seeing him, Jiang also becomes quite happy. She asks, "You had said you'd come after 2 days?" Ding Ran says, "Were you waiting for me to come back? And don't worry, I won't bother you much." Then he says to Jiang, "Come out for a walk with me for a while." Jiang says, "I'm really tired, I just want to sleep now. You also go home and rest." Ding Ran then starts telling her a school-time story that Jiang herself had once told him. Listening to that story, Jiang feels happy that Ding Ran still remembers her words. Ding Ran says, "I remember every single thing you ever said." And just as he starts to confess his feelings again, Jiang gets up and starts to walk away. But this time, Ding Ran wasn't going to back off at all. He had made up his mind, until Jiang agrees, "I will definitely express my feelings to her." And then he says, "Can we forget everything from the past and start a new life?" At this, Jiang says, "I don't know how to start a new life." The next morning, Jiang sees a lot of flowers with her mom. When she asks, Mom says, "All of these were given by your uncle, Mr. Deng." During the conversation, Jiang asks her mom a question. "It's been many years since Dad passed away, and all this time you kept rejecting Uncle Deng. What happened that you accepted his proposal now?" At this, Mom gives a very good answer. "Earlier, I was afraid of what people would say, what they would think about me. Your uncle made me feel safe, so I felt like destiny gave me a second chance to get my love back. Anyway, love and career both depend on timing. Whenever it comes to you, you should accept it as your fate." Jiang was quite confused at this moment about whether she should accept Ding Ran or not. Maybe she would also find her answer. In the next scene, Jiang helps Mr. Deng in the kitchen with cooking. She asks, "Where is the vinegar?" Then Mr. Deng says, "It's right there in the cabinet." Jiang starts searching. Just then, Ding Ran opens the upper cabinet and places his hand on Jiang's forehead for her safety. He says, "Dad, the vinegar isn't here. Maybe you forgot to bring it." At this, Dad says, "No problem. I'll go get it from the shop right now." Ding Ran's action does feel nice to Jiang, but she still ignores him. Ding Ran says, "You're making breakfast for me. It feels nice." Jiang says, "We're about to become siblings, so stop saying these useless things. Our mom and dad are getting married." At this, Ding Ran says, "If they are getting married, then can't we also get married? It's not necessary that we have to remain siblings, right?" Jiang doesn't give him any answer. Ding Ran holds her hand and says, "Put everything else aside. Tell me your feelings. What do you want?" Maybe even Jiang herself didn't know what she wanted. In the next scene, it is shown that Ding Ran holds Jiang's hand and says, "Just forgive me once, please. I promise. I will never leave you again." And when he tries to kiss her, Jiang hits his foot hard and says, "Are you crazy? What were you about to do?" Ding Ran says, "I was going to kiss you, and I only kiss those people whom I like." At this, Jiang starts hitting him and says, "I also only hit those people who annoy me." Ding Ran says, "If you don't like me, then start liking me. I won't give up." Jiang says, "Stay in your limits. Otherwise, no one will be worse than me." In the next scene at the shop, Ding Ran sends a balloon for Jiang through Lulu. Jiang pinches it, but Ding Ran knew this very well, so he had kept movie tickets inside the balloon and also a note, "Please come to watch a movie with me." Lulu starts laughing and says, "Now don't say that Ding Ran isn't trying. He's giving his 100%. In the next scene, Ding Ran comes to help Jiang with lifting utensils, but Jiang says, "Stay away from me. I warned you earlier too." So he says, "Why should I stay away? We're family. I told you before too. I can't stay away from you." Then Jiang says to Ding Ran, "Give me your hand," and then places his hand on her neck and calls Mr. Deng, "Uncle, look, Ding Ran is bothering me." Now, no matter how many times Ding Ran says, No, I didn't do anything," but Uncle had seen everything with his own eyes. After this, Ding Ran kept calling Jiang repeatedly and bothering her, just like he used to during school days. The next morning, Uncle Deng says to Jiang, "I'm going on an outing for a few days with your mom, but before that, I want to give you something important." Uncle shows a small item that looked like chewing gum, but it was actually a cockroach. He says, "Ding Ran is most afraid of cockroaches. So until we come back home, if Ding Ran bothers you, just show him this cockroach. He won't even dare to come near you." Jiang becomes very happy hearing this. After Uncle leaves, Jiang goes into Ding Ran's room to place the cockroach in a perfect spot and teach him a good lesson. But there she finds a diary, 10 Years Plan, written by Ding Ran. The diary had pictures of both of them and cute little things written inside. Tears fill her eyes. She thinks, "We spent 10 years of our lives apart from each other. Just then, Lulu calls, Jang, come quickly. Ding Ran had an accident. She rushes to pick him up immediately, while Ding Ran is saying to Lulu, I told you not to tell Jang. She'll get worried for no reason. But Jang scolds him and says, you've become a doctor but you still don't know how to take care of yourself. After bringing him home, Jang asks, how did your accident happen? Ding Ran starts making up a random story and, at the same time, rests his head on her shoulder. From here, we come to know that Ding Ran was only pretending, just to get closer to Zhang. When Zhang tries to lift his head, he refuses. Zhang understands and says, Drama King, stop acting? Ding Ran comfortably rests his head in her lap. And seeing this, Zhang also can't control herself. She finally says, I love you. When you said for the first time that you like me, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I thought maybe I heard something wrong. When you said the second time, has it become too late? Even then I thought I heard it wrong. But the third time, then I saw everything with my own eyes. You also loved me. Then why did you keep me away for 10 years for no reason? While saying all this, Zhang becomes very emotional, and Ding Ran also becomes emotional seeing her like that. Zhang then starts to leave, but Ding Ran hugs her and says, please forgive me. The pain you bore in these 10 years, I have felt even more sorrow than that. Zhang also agrees but asks one question, give me one reason why I should be in a relationship with you? At this, Ding Ran starts giving cute little reasons. I want to spend my whole life with you. I have so many things to talk to you about. Then Ding Ran hugs her sweetly. In the next scene, it is shown that Ding Ran and Jang are sitting together talking about their past. How we used to secretly look at each other. They both thought since mom and dad have gone on an outing for at least 2 days, they weren't supposed to come back, but suddenly dad enters because he had left his ID card at home. Zhang had no idea where to hide. Ding Ran says, what's the need to hide? If we tell them about our relationship, I'm sure they'll be happy. But for Zhang, this wasn't the right time yet. On the other side, Dad comes into Ding Ran's room to find his ID card, and somehow Ding Ran hides Zhang. Dad finds his ID card, so he leaves. After leaving, Ding Ran says, I don't want to hide our relationship. I know that mom and dad will be very happy to know. Zhang kisses him and says, maybe because of our relationship, they might face some complications, so not now. But after their wedding, whenever the right time comes, we'll tell them. After this, Ding Ran sits at Zhang's house for a long time watching TV. Zhang says, it's really late, you have to go to the hospital in the morning. But Ding Ran didn't feel like going anywhere at all. He either wanted to stay there or take Zhang with him to his home. But Zhang somehow sends him away. The next morning, Zhang wakes up first, gets fresh, and makes breakfast for Ding Ran. But just when she is about to go to his house with the breakfast, Ding Ran arrives with breakfast for her. At night, Ding Ran has to stay at the hospital due to an emergency. He calls Zhang and asks, have you seen my girlfriend? I've been looking for her for so long. Zhang says, I didn't see her anywhere. If you want to send a message, tell me. I'll pass it on to her. Ding Ran says, tell my girlfriend that I miss her a lot, and I love her very, very much. Next day, Zhang goes to meet Ding Ran at the hospital. Ding Ran is already standing there to surprise her. As soon as Zhang enters the hospital, he hugs her and says, it's been so many days, right? I haven't seen you. That's why I was missing you a lot. Zhang says, so many days? It's only been 1 day. Then she kisses Ding Ran. After this, the night scene is shown. Both are sitting together watching TV. It gets quite late, so Zhang gets up to leave for home. Ding Ran stops her and says, we haven't met for a long time, so stay a little longer. But Zhang says, it's not like I'm going very far. My house is right in front. Before leaving, she gives Ding Ran a sweet kiss. After that, Zhang goes to her room and is about to sleep. Then she sees Ding Ran standing in her TV lounge. He says, see how unsafe you are. Anyone can easily enter your house. That's why I should stay here with you. I promise, I'll only sleep on the sofa. Please let me stay here. Jiang wasn't some 17-year-old little girl. She says, get up, go home right now. Don't make too many excuses in front of me. Ding Ran, though unwilling, starts to leave but puts a condition. Kiss me first. Then I'll definitely go from here. Zhang kisses him, but that wasn't enough for Ding Ran, so he kisses her himself to show what kind of kiss he wanted. Then he picks her up and starts taking her to the room and says, now I'm gonna sleep right here. And anyway, it's not the first time that we're going to sleep on the same bed. At this, Jiang says, that time was different. This time, our relationship is different. Maybe it was too late now to explain this. After this, we are shown their first night scene. The next morning, when both of them wake up, they say good morning to each other. They were still having a loving conversation when Mom's voice comes from the other side. Hearing her voice, both of them get very shocked because they had no idea that they would suddenly show up like this. They were staring at Ding Ran's pillow in shock, wondering how it got there. Then Mom starts walking toward Zhang's room to ask her. Zhang pushes Ding Ran off the bed and starts pretending in front of Mom as if she just woke up. Then she says, can you make me something to eat? Then she starts taking Mom outside with her. and smilingly says to Ding Ran, "Sorry," for pushing him off the bed, and says, "Go to Chi-Fei's place for a few hours so that mom doesn't suspect that we spent the night together." In the next scene, Ding Ran pretends to fight with Zhang and says, "If you're so brave, then come after me into my room." Mom tells Zhang not to fight, but she says, "If I don't go into his room after him, then he'll think I got scared, and I'm not someone who gets scared." Then after going into his room, their romance starts, while poor mom and dad think maybe they're fighting inside. Mom and dad don't see any possibility of their own wedding. The two of them see mom and dad cooking. When the soy sauce runs out, Zhang says, "I'll go get it from my house." But Ding Ran, taunting her, starts arguing with Zhang. "This is our house. I'll get the soy sauce myself. We don't need your soy sauce." At this, dad says, "Okay, stop fighting. You both go get soy sauce separately." Soy sauce was just an excuse. Actually, Ding Ran wanted to spend time with Zhang, which he couldn't do at all in the house. The poor guy was tense that they'd have to go home again, and in front of mom and dad, the two of them could do nothing but fight. This was a chance, so he started kissing Zhang. Who knows if this chance would come again or not? Then, upon reaching home, Ding Ran says, "Why don't we go out for a little while longer?" They were having such a loving conversation when Dad saw the two of them from behind. As soon as he saw them, Zhang quickly started pretending to hit him. Dad also says, "I told you not to bother Zhang." The next morning scene is shown. Zhang was talking on the phone and mom also hears their loving conversation. Then, coming outside, Zhang makes an excuse to mom, "I'm going to meet Lu Liu." Even though mom already knew everything, she doesn't stop her from going. Then Zhang goes to meet Ding Ran wearing a mask, and mom and dad also reach there to spy on the two of them. They were getting quite romantic, but the problem was that mom and dad couldn't figure out who the boy actually was. By mistake, a sound slips from mom's mouth, upon which Zhang sees them and tells Ding Ran to run away from there. Mom insists to Jiang, "Who is that boy? Call him back, I want to meet him." Jiang says, "He wasn't my boyfriend, just some guy who was asking for directions." Mom says, "If he was just asking for directions, would he hug you like that?" Jiang didn't want to say anything and mom kept pressuring her, because of which both of them ended up in conflict. In the end, Zhang even said, "Mom, I'm not a high school girl anymore, so stop spying on me." Then, even after knowing everything, Ding Ran says, "What was the need to upset Auntie? How long are we going to keep hiding our relationship?" Because of this, Zhang and Ding Ran get into a fight. Zhang says, "None of this is as easy as you think." And before the fight escalates, Zhang walks away from there. While leaving, Lu Liu sees her and comes to Ding Ran and asks, "Why did Zhang leave in such anger?" Meanwhile, mom was sitting separately, upset over Zhang's misbehavior. Dad tries to comfort her. Everything will be fine. Then, while folding the bed sheet, mom notices, "This is the same bed sheet whose pillow was lying in our house." On the other side, Lu Liu clearly explains to Ding Ran, Zhang is afraid that after knowing about her relationship, mom and dad might cancel their decision to get married. Chi-Fei says, "What's the need to hide the relationship like this? Both weddings can happen now, right?" To this, Lu Liu says, "You tell me, how would you feel if after our wedding, your dad marries my mom?" Well, that was really embarrassing. That's why Zhang feels that maybe her mom might take her decision back. Ding Ran understood her point, so he went to convince Zhang. Zhang is sitting sadly in her room. She regrets misbehaving with mom and also with Ding Ran. Ding Ran calls her and says sorry and says, "Until you want to, we won't tell your mom. And don't worry, I'll explain everything to mom properly." After hearing this, Zhang starts crying and says, "Come meet me now, I want to see you." After this, Ding Ran is waiting for her outside. As soon as Zhang sees him, she hugs him and starts crying. At that moment, their mom and dad see them together. They already had suspicions. Dad doesn't let mom go to them and says, "We'll talk later." Next morning at breakfast, mom suddenly says to Zhang, "When are you going to marry Ding Ran?" Hearing this, both get shocked. So dad says, "There's nothing to be surprised about. We found out about you two." Zhang still didn't want to say anything, but Ding Ran says, "Yes, mom, I like your daughter, and I promise you, I'll keep her very happy." But Zhang wanted that until both of their weddings happen. They should keep their relationship secret so that it doesn't hurt anyone. Then, Ding Ran tells Zhang to tell the truth too. So she also says, "Ding Ran is the boy I have liked since school time." Then mom and dad say, "That's great. Now all four of us will get married together." That's exactly what Zhang and Ding Ran wanted to hear. Then mom takes Zhang with her to select a wedding dress. After they leave, dad advises Ding Ran, "Take care of Zhang." Mom also gives her bank card to Zhang for shopping. She knew Ding Ran had no shortage of money, but she wanted her daughter to do her shopping with that money. Then it's shown that Chi-Fei and Lu Liu also got their marriage certificate made. Mom and dad also had gotten married. Lu Liu asks, "Where are you two going for honeymoon?" So Jiang says, "To our hometown, where I met Ding Ran for the first time." Lu Liu also plans to go with them. In the end, they all click a selfie, because from here their dream life is about to begin. In the next scene, Ding Ran shows Jiang the shirt that she had given him. He tells her to check the pocket of that shirt. There's a surprise for you in it. When Jiang looks, there's a ring in it. After putting the ring on her, he says, "Go to the hometown with Qi Fei and Lu Liu. I'll come after finishing my work." After that, they kiss. The next scene shows the hometown, where Jiang is enjoying with Lu Liu, but she is missing Ding Ran. At night, Jiang says, "I can't even have dinner because I'm missing my husband." But then she says, "I'm just joking, I can have dinner without him too." So Lu Liu says, "Are you really not missing Ding Ran? What if he suddenly appears in front of you?" Lu Liu had seen Ding Ran arriving. He covers Jiang's eyes with his hands. Jiang also recognizes him and happily hugs him and says, "I was missing you a lot." In the next scene, Mom and Dad are shown. Dad says, "Since Jiang and Ding Ran stopped fighting, everything has become boring." Then Mom says, "They are all on their honeymoon, so we should make our own plans." From here, their dream life begins, the one Jiang and Ding Ran had always dreamed of. Everyone starts enjoying their happy life, and with that, our drama ends.